Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to this video series. So what we do in this series is we're going to be taking some of your favorite foods and turning them into macro-friendly options. So today we got an awesome poke recipe. Let's learn how to change the macros from this to this. And yeah, let's get cooking guys. Poke is definitely one of those meals that are really nutritious. It's packed with protein and it's really good for you, especially when you're working out or trying to build some muscle. But what I don't like about poke is when I go outside to get it at a restaurant, they can be kind of skimpy with the amount of protein that you get. So this is the reason why I really like to make poke myself, and it's usually what I tend to do. It's a lot cheaper, and the best part is, guys, you can choose how much of the sashimi you can put into the plate, and you can really add in what you like and take out what you really don't like. So we're going to be starting off the recipe with maybe around 6 ounces of each of the pieces. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be cutting pretty wide with my pieces, right? A lot of poke places, they like to cut almost like shredded tuna or like shredded salmon, which I really don't like. You know what I'm talking about when they go like a third of the sizes of these pieces, right? And that really takes away from the texture and the freshness of the fish. So if you can see there, I'm going to really thick blocks, and this way I can really keep the texture of the fish, and this way it's just so much better and you get so much of that flavor. So just a little note here, when you buy this fish, you want to make sure that it's sashimi grade, because that's the kind of fish that can be eaten raw, and it also saves you so much more money when you buy it yourself, right? So for these 2 humongous pieces of sashimi, it was only like 20 bucks in total, which means that we get double the servings for even less price, because a typical poke place will make you pay like $13 to $15 for a typical bowl. So yeah, we paid half the price for double the amount of protein. So up next, we got a quarter of an onion. Just a quarter is plenty for two whole servings. And I'm actually really proud of these knife skills right now. I cut them really thin. I did a really good job. I did that kind of bear claw thing. And yeah, just cut them really thin because you don't want those big pieces of onion to kind of mess up the dish. So up next, we got this little nub of ginger, and I'm sure you've seen this method before, but you can just use the sharp end of your knife and kind of scrape the sides because you don't want the skin of the ginger. And yeah, this is actually really fun. It's kind of like a stress relief to do this. I don't know what it is about it. It's just really satisfying to do. And yeah, just kind of get it till it's clean and it comes off really easily, and you'll see what I mean by it being a stress reliever. Alright, so now that the ginger is all cut up, what we want to do is we want to make it into kind of like a paste here, right? What we did, it was kind of a mistake here, right? But we kind of chopped it up and minced it into like these little thick kind of crunchy bites. And ginger is a really strong aromatic, right? So you want to make it into like these really tiny little, bits, and you want to almost make it like wet. It kind of sounds like gross, right? But you want to make it so that it's like really kind of wet, like pasty, and it just kind of flavors the dish rather than having these little tiny crunchy bits. So now we're going to go for half an avocado here. This step is totally optional. Just know that it's going to add a little bit more fats into your diet. If you're not a fan of that, just take this out. Now we're going to go for maybe around 8 to 9 or 10 green onions, and this is going to be going inside the poke as well as on top of it. It adds a really whole different layer of freshness to the dish and a little bit of crunch, so this step is really awesome. So we're going to be ending up with around 6 ounces of tuna, around 6 to 8 ounces of salmon, a quarter of an onion, maybe 2 tablespoons of minced ginger, 8 to 9 green onions, and half of an avocado here. That's all you really need to make this recipe, guys. So to season, we got 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Next up, we got around 2 to 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. We got a really high quality soy sauce here. And then just maybe half of a tablespoon of mirin. It's kind of like a rice wine. So just a little pro tip here, add the ingredients before you add any of the seasoning in, because once you add that in, you can't really go backwards, right? So add everything in and just season to taste here. This was the perfect amount for the amount we had, so make sure not to just pour it in, make sure to just kind of taste as you go along. So now we're going to add a little bit of salt just to taste, and then what happened here is that the poke wasn't salty enough, so we ended up adding a little bit more salt. And the next thing I want you guys to realize is look at how much sashimi we're getting for the price of only 20 bucks, whereas you would pay maybe 26 to 30 bucks if you wanted this amount. So now we're going to just add around 120 grams of white rice. We have an awesome method of cooking this. Link is in the description below if you want to learn, or you can just click on the card at the top right corner. So now we're just going to be plating up the sashimi. This is my favorite part of making this dish because I get to choose how much of each one I want. And also I can also choose, like, I can get tuna and salmon, and I can put way more than I usually want. I mean, come on, when you go to normal restaurants, they really skimp out on this part, and they give you like these little tiny pieces of sashimi, which I'm not really a big fan of, which I understand, you know, they're trying to make business and, you know, they're trying to save on costs, but just making it at home is just a better option for me when it comes to poke, because I get to really manipulate the macronutrients and the nutrition label, and yeah, make it more friendly for myself. So yeah, that's really it for the recipe, guys. If you liked the video, feel free to like and share, and let us know if you guys made this dish for yourself. So subscribe for more videos just like this, and check out our blog, aspirefitnesswalnut.com/blog. We have a whole article on poke and some tips that will help you lose weight and get to your goals. So see you guys in the next one.